Didn't get off to a good start is an understatement. UTEP was ready to go and punched us in the mouth. I thought our guys were a little caught up in the crowd, their uniforms, the warm-ups we wore, and we talked about it prior to the game. But give credit to Coach Terry and their staff; they had them ready to go, and we couldn't stop them. I didn't think they could continue on that torrid pace shooting the ball, but I was proud of our guys to handle a little bit of adversity. It was the first time in a young season that we had to do that, and we righted the ship. Obviously got the win in the end.
Chris, I know you talked about on Tuesday night that obviously losing your top two scorers, a lot of things are going to have to be done by committee this year. Different guys stepping up tonight than on Tuesday night. How much do you expect to see different scorers and different guys getting double figures every night for this team?
I think it's going to happen a lot. Time will tell when these games unfold and we get more under our belt. But I've talked about it leading up to the season that I think it's going to be a team that doesn't have a big gap between first and second or second and third and all the way down, both scoring and rebounding. And that's what I'm used to. And I have no problem with that. I prefer that, to be honest, but I'm certainly not going to try to hold anyone back. If they're capable of going getting 20, 25, we're going to ride that ship. But I think it's going to be more what you've seen so far in a young season. And like I said, I'm fine with it. I think it's harder to prepare for that way. As long as you've got enough guys, that you can rotate around who's going to be the leading scorer and can go out and get the other team's attention.
Do you feel like what kind of changed for you guys midway through the first half when you started kind of chopping at their lead and took the lead at halftime? Seemed like you guys got the ball more inside, maybe not settling for so many threes, but eventually got hot from the three-point line. What kind of changed for you?
I really don't know. If I would have figured that out quicker, maybe they wouldn't have got such a big lead. I just think we settled down a little bit. Obviously, you think it'd be easier to play at home than on the road, but we just didn't look the same early. We were kind of out of sorts. We had a couple guys make some shots and had a little bit of a celebration, which we didn't appreciate and didn't get back on defense, and they scored before we were set. So I think they got caught up a little bit. We got a young, not a young team, but we got a new team. We don't have a young team like they have. They have a young team, but we have a lot of new faces, and we just got to keep working through the kinks. But definitely thought we got the ball inside a little bit better, as the game progressed.
I know we talked a couple weeks ago. You were expecting big things from Clayton this year. Had a fantastic night tonight. Had a decent game on Tuesday night. So how nice is it to see him really get going tonight and really kind of lead your team.
I don't have any stats, so it's hard to talk about individual players, but obviously he had a really solid night, both rebounding and shooting the basketball. That first game his shot didn't even look right. Tonight when that first one in, I was pretty happy for him, and then they all looked, pretty normal for him. But, he's our versatile guy. He's our Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything. He's got a pretty good feel. He obviously can shoot the ball well. Puts on the floor okay, pretty decent defender, and I think what he does best is rebound, and you know how important that is to me, so hopefully he'll continue to get better.
Coach, you mentioned that the season's still pretty early on, and so starting the rivalry, I guess, so soon. Do you think these two teams are going to change a lot next time you see each other, later this month?
I don't have a crystal ball, but I know they're coaching them really hard. I was really impressed with how hard they played, how well they were prepared. I can't imagine having 5 of my 8 rotation guys true freshmen. I've never experienced that. Kudos to them for getting in there and getting them to believe, and they're playing really hard. I'm assuming they're going to continue to get better, and hopefully we will too. We got some tough games coming up before we have to go over there, and I'm hopeful that our team will get better as well.
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
You talked a lot this season about how early in the year you're going to change the lineup quite a bit. Tonight you started Mo and Yvonne. What went into that decision, and how happy were you with their performance tonight?
A lot of things go into the decisions of who we start. But like I said, it's going to continue that way. Eventually, hopefully, I would think that we'll get into a pretty consistent starting lineup, but I think it's going to take a while. And it's more based on just performance, both in the games and then certainly in practice. But we're still trying to figure it out. As you can see, we're shuttling guys in and out. All times. The one benefit from it is, is we won't, foul trouble right now isn't a big issue for us because we're pretty confident in bringing in other guys off the bench, so that's a nice luxury to have. But I don't foresee us playing, 12 guys consistently all season. But right now, that's kind of where we're at. And, in Tuesday we had the lead, and then even tonight, eventually we were able to do it again. But time will tell. We'll see, who ends up in the solid rotation.
CJ Bobbitt didn't start the game, obviously. Came in the game in the second half, gave you guys a great offensive spark. What went into the decision? Was that a halftime adjustment to go ahead and start him in the second half? And how pleased were you with his offensive production tonight?
Yeah, he was playing great. He was playing great, and a lot of it's going to come down to that. Who's hot? Who's playing well? Who's defending? Who's rebounding? Who feels good about their shot? And Mo didn't get off to a very good start. And he struggled. And then CJ, broke out a little bit, which was nice to see. I think everyone finally saw kind of his game, where he can do a little bit of everything. He can shoot. He's got a nice stroke. He can put it on the floor a little bit. He's got a big, husky body, and he's got to continue to move his feet better on defense. But really happy for him to get in a rhythm, and I'm hopeful that will buoy his confidence going forward.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, on a lighter note, is this the first time you met Coach Terry tonight? And I also saw you, was this the first time you
No.
met Coach?
I've
So you
known
guys
him.
sharing some fashion tips before the game?
I don't know. We were sharing fashion tips. He's a much better dresser than me, but I've known him a long time, probably, I don't know, 20 years in the business.